distinct advantage.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy, The Ace Black, giving my first video review of Strike Suit Zero, a game, an indie title made by Born Ready Games. So hope you enjoy the review. Now, the first thing I want to go ahead and mention, if you look at the actual gameplay, is the visuals. Even though they're not top-notch, but it is, in my opinion, gorgeous for an indie game. Pretty beautiful when it comes to the actual space and actually the actual feel. The game itself runs at high definition. I want to say maybe 800, 900p. I haven't really looked into it, but it definitely runs above 30 frames per second. It's pretty solid. Maybe there's a few dips here and there, but it doesn't hinder the actual gameplay as far as the visuals. The explosions are very nice. I mean, kind of gives it more of an anime feel, but visually, you won't be disappointed. I mean, it's definitely running at high definition. The swarm of the missiles, the way they look, the spaceships are pretty good. The only thing I would just kind of knock on the visuals is the lighting. The levels are so drawn out and long that the lighting, as far as the explosions, kind of get annoying after a while. You may even have to take a break. But I know what they were trying to do with the lighting. They're trying to actually get you immersed in space. So it feels pretty good. It's just like I said, I don't see you playing 6 or 7 levels or maybe in one sitting without taking a break. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old, but the lighting can pretty much affect you in some sense. Now, another thing I want to go ahead and mention is the sound. The sound itself is pretty good. It's 5.1 surround sound, and the one thing I have to say is that if you have a home theater set up with a subwoofer, you're really going to hear these explosions. I mean, these explosions are pretty cool. You'll hear them behind you, you'll hear them on the left of you. You'll hear it just like you were in space if you were actually in a Star Wars type of space battle. If you look at the video itself, as far as the actual swarm of missiles, you hear that in your speakers. I mean, you're going to hear that, especially if you have a headset. I have a pair of Turtle Beach's PX5s. And I just found myself in the cockpit enjoying it. Sound perfect. You'll like the sound. It's definitely running at 5.1. Now, I want to go ahead and elaborate on the actual gameplay. Now, the controls are going to get some getting used to. It's not a pick up and play like Halo Reach was. The controls themselves, the left thumbstick allows you to move in a circle, while the right thumbstick allows you to move left and right. When you push them both, actually allow you to thrust. The only thing about the controls is that once you get used to it, I mean, it's every once in a while, if you pick up and play and you set it down for a while and you take a break, those controls can kind of get on your nerves. But like I said, playing it for a while, you'll actually start enjoying it. And as far as the actual strike suit's pretty cool. I mean, you really feel powerful when you're in this thing. Now, there's a fusion bar that they give you in the strike suit, which means on that fusion bar, if it runs out, you change it back into the ship mode. So basically it gives you balance where you can't stay in the strike suit for a long period of time. Once that fusion bar fills up, then you can go into the actual strike suit mode and you can just pretty much wreck shop. As you can see, I mean, it turns into like this Robotech light fighter, and I mean, it's really fun. As far as the gameplay, people were saying that the levels are redundant. I didn't feel that. I don't think so, because you can only do so much with space, and each level differentiates itself as far as like one level has a sun, one level has a nebula, one level has a lot of smoke. They did a pretty good job on the level. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the visible barriers that they give you in the levels. You actually see that, which if you go too far off in space, it tells you to return to the mission. Okay, I'll give it a pass on that, but I'm not a big fan of those. The only reason why I give it a pass because you are in space and they really want you in the battle. Now, the last thing I want to hit on is the actual story. The story is what it is. It's not bad, but everything's told through a codex. On the bottom right hand of your screen, everything's told in space, which they don't do a bad job of it. It's just that at the end, it's a twist where it doesn't open up to anything else, in my opinion. Yes, they can go ahead and add on to it, but it doesn't open up to a sequel. Now, as far as the actual story itself, you're one fighter, it's one story, 12-hour campaign, no co-op, unfortunately, which would have really made it pretty good as far as longevity-wise. But if you're looking for something to play for maybe like, if you have nothing else to play right now, you're a sci-fi nut like me, you want that kind of Appleseed anime feel, like Robotech or Gundam Wing, this is the game for you, $20. The only thing is that if you're just looking to check it out, maybe summertime or maybe something when titles, if you're just looking for it to go on still, I can understand that too. It is a pretty good game to play. I mean, they have side missions to it where they actually have you play some of your colleagues and their stories. So it has a little bit of longevity, but I would probably say maybe wait till it goes on sale. But if you're a sci-fi nut and you want something to play, it's not a bad game. This has been my video review of Strike Suit Zero. Definitely check it out, and shout out to OFR.